Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarini. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणे. Hare Krishna. So today is verse number 37 from chapter 3, Karma Yoga. It's very important verse. So Arjuna's question, Krishna is answering. So let us see the shloka. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Rajo Guna Samudbhava
Rajoguna Samudbhavaha
Mahashano Mahapapam Papa
Mahasano Mahapapma
Vidhinamiha Vairinam.
Vidhiyenam Ikavairinam.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha
Rajoguna Samudbhavaha
Mahashano Mahapama
Mahasano Mahapapma
Vidhi Enam Iha Vairinam.
Vidhiyenam Ikavairinam.
श्री भगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजोगुणः समुद्भवः महासनो महापाप्मा विद्य एनम् इह वैरिणम्
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kama Esa Krodha Esa Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Mahasano Mahapapma Vidhiyenam Ikavairinam.
श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजोगुणसमुद्भव महातनो महापाप्मा विद्धि इनम् इह वैरिणम्.
So let's see the translation and purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world." Purport. When the living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transferred into lust in association of with mode of passion, or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust, as milk in contact with sour turmeric is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when the lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of mode of ignorance, and these modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. If therefore mode of passion, instead of being degraded into mode of ignorance, is elevated to mode of goodness by prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever increasing spiritual bliss, and the living entities are part and parcels of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but by misuse of their independence, When the service attitude is transformed into propensity for sense enjoyment, they come under the sphere of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities, and when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entity begin to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of Vedanta Sutra, where it is said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, one should inquire into the Supreme. And the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmadi Asyato Yad Itaras Cha, or the origin of everything is Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the origin of lust is also supreme. If therefore, lust is transferred into love of Supreme or transferred to Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravan. But by doing so, he became greatest devotee of the Lord. Here, also in Bhagavad Gita, Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon his enemies for satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies. So, this question, the question of Arjuna, why a person or a living entity does activities without his anichan, without his icha, as if by some force he does some activities, even if he knows that this activity is not good or it is sinful. Why he does that? This was the question. And Krishna is telling now that the all problem that any living entity, including we all, have is the lust. So, what is lust? Lust is the desires to achieve something, desires for self, and if that is not fulfilled, and because of the desire, we do some sinful activities which are not prescribed to be done, and so we desire something, and if we don't, and we desired something, say for eating or for enjoying ourselves, and to achieve that we do sinful activities. And if somebody comes in between or becomes obstacle to fulfill those desires, then we become angry, right? So lust is in mode of passion. So if we desire, so lust itself is the result of our desires. So first is the desire. So we desire something to enjoy, and the desires are never fulfilled. It cannot finish. Unlimited desires. So that is lust. So, and anger generally comes, like we say, when the lust goes into ignorance and we become desperate, and we don't get something that we want, or we get something that we don't want, then we become desperate and we become angry, and it comes out as anger. So the problem is, and how is the lust? Like Mahashano, Maha Pa Ma. So it is all devouring. Means it it finishes you from internally. So for Arjuna, okay, Duryodhan, Karna, or they are the enemies, Dushasan, they are the enemies which are in front of him. So, but lust is the enemy that is within ourselves. So it's inside us. And for any warrior, it is very important to know who are the enemies. So if we are trying to work towards the spiritual progress or self-realization, we should know what are our enemies. So enemies, of course, outside are also there, and inside, the main enemy, Krishna says, it's lust only. So all the problem is lust, and lust is for desires, desires for sense objects. So the all the problem starts when we don't choose proper thing. We choose wrong thing, wrong desires. That is lust. So I think each one of us can relate to this shloka very much, how we are sometimes greedy for something. Many people are greedy for money. They will do so. Greedy for money, greedy for power, greedy for position, greedy for respect. So for that, they do so many wrong things which are not advised to be done as per the laws or as per the Shastra also. But people do that. Why? Because of the lust, because of the intense desire. So, for example, uh, you want to, uh, eyes want to see something, uh, and but or tongue want to eat. So, if certain food is not good for health, and we are not advised to, you should not eat it. If you eat it, then it will create problem for your health, or you may even die. But if we get desire to eat something that we are craving for a long time, and if that comes in front of us, then it's very difficult to control. Or if it does not come, but our desire is so intense that we cannot control ourselves, then to eat that particular thing or item, we will do stealing also, or we will do by without anybody noticing, we will do that thing. So that is type of theft, even if it is in our house. Nobody should know, and then we do it. So that is a sin. So because of the desires for the enjoyment, we do the sinful activities. And Srila Prabhupada mentions here how we can control it, right? This statement is very. So lust is in mode of passion, rajoguna samudbhava, because when we get the desires, then we try to fulfill. And what is rajogun? When there is intense endeavor or intense desires, and we try hard to fulfill those desires, that is rajogun. That is the quality of rajogun or property of rajogun. We can understand when we are trying very hard to achieve something, that is passion, or we are trying very hard to prove our point or stop something, that is also passion. So because our desire is to stop that, and then we try to do so many things to stop it, so that's passion. So and it's mahashano mahapapa, so it will finish us from internally, and it is never finished. So there is one very uh, shloka in Bhagavatam, in the story of Yayati, in the ninth canto, where Bhishma Dev, no, sorry, uh, it's also in Mahabharata, and it's also in um, Bhagavatam, ninth canto, 19th chapter, in the story of Yayati. And Bhishma Dev tells this shloka to Yudhishthir before leaving from this world, when Yudhishthir Maharaj asked him how I should rule the planet. So that time, uh, Bhishma Dev tells him that, I will just read the translation. Understanding that all that is available on earth in form of food, gold, animal, or woman is not enough for one person. So one should go about with peaceful mind. So Bhishmadev tells that for one person, this whole earth is not enough. That much are our desires, and it cannot be satisfied. So Arjuna may ask, like, okay, once I get the desire and I fulfill that desire, then it's finished. But Krishna says, no, it's Mahashano, it's continuously coming, and continuously we have to fulfill it. And this is the greatest enemy. So Bhishma Dev is also telling that for one person, earth is not enough. So you should know this, that our desires will never be fulfilled. So how we can stop it, or how at least we can control it? Srila Prabhupada tells uh, that mode of ignorance. So lust should be elevated to mode of goodness by prescribed method of living and acting. So prescribed method of living means the method that is suitable for your ashram. So if you are grahastha, you should live like grahastha. If you are brahmachari or sannyasi or vanprastha, you should live like that. If you are kshatriya, you live like a kshatriya, and your actions should be as per the shastra, that is are advised. Then you will be in mode of goodness, and that mode of goodness will stop the lust going into ignorance. So when we say ignorance, that means anger. So in a way, we can so how this lust develops and how to control it, that also Krishna tells in the next few shlokas that we all will see. But the origin is from our desire. So if we can give proper direction to our desires, then we can control this lust, and that will cure so many problems. So I also have problems like that. Everybody will have some problems which we are not able to control. So we can find out why it is coming and from which desire, and so which sense is trying to enjoy which sense object. That we can find out, and then if once we find out, we should at least try. We should keep trying to control, because it's not easy when we have intense desires. It's coming from so many past lifetimes. But if we start somewhere to control, at certain point we will be able to do it by continuous endeavors. So Krishna will explain more about lust, how it develops and where it is situated, and how to control it in next few shlokas. So that we'll see in our future next sections tomorrow and day after. So very helpful for observing ourselves and our desires. So that's why Bhagavad Gita is using our intelligence. So we have to use our intelligence to find out where our desires are. Let's see where lust is situated in shlokas from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Any comments? Any experiences? Question? And one good point is, even if we have problems, if we know the problems, that's a good thing, because then we can overcome the problem. So it's always better to know our problems, even if we cannot um, have the solution immediately. At least we know problem, then we can start on the path of recovering or removing the problems. Okay, let's see tomorrow where the lust is situated. That will help us more to find out our problems. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Okay.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.